With me in the studio this morning is Kathleen M. who would like to be your representative in the Roundhouse for District 44. Kathleen, how are you?
Good. Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming in and telling us about your campaign. And I'd like to start, for people that maybe don't know you, where you grew up, where you went to school, and what you do.
Sure. I've been living in this district for over 15 years. Both my children are graduates from the Rio Rancho Public School District. I have worked the last 17, 18 years as an executive for different nonprofits that advocate for individuals with disabilities. Currently, I'm working as a realtor so that my time is more flexible so that I can serve in this elected position. And I've been a member of Rotary. I've worked with the Civitan. I've done projects with the Kiwanis group here in Rio Rancho. Every booster club you can think of, football, basketball, tennis, marching band, and all the fundraisers. So I've been very much a part of the community. I was also worked a lot with all the different nonprofits throughout Sandoval County. So this is my first time candidate, but I think people know me.
So why? You're pretty busy. Why are you doing this?
Well, I've been asked. I have designed my life in the last 20 plus years for community service, both professionally and personally, and it's something that I like. I raised my children that way. We've always done community projects like pack boxes for Blue Star Blue Mothers or yard work for a widow, or we do a nursing scholarship here in Sandoval County through my Rotary. And I have been asked to serve as an elected position before, but my children were still young, and my mom lives with me as well. And I ran a very large nonprofit. I was the CEO of a large nonprofit that we had at one point 190 employees, but never, always between 140 and 190. And being a legislator on the side was just not possible. And I'm a working person. I have to have a job. I have to have an income. And, our legislature is volunteer.
Right.
So I have two kids to support. Their father passed away when they were 11 and 13. And they're not kids anymore. They're 21 and almost 24 now. But they feel like kids to me. And my mom still lives with me. And so I do have to generate an income.
Well, of course. And was there a specific issue that said, I want to fix this, whatever it might be? Or is it just the overall state of the state?
Well, I've spent the last 15 years going up to Santa Fe during the legislative session, advocating mostly for individuals with disabilities. Sometimes I'm there for veterans or wildlife preservation, but I would say 99% of the time are individuals with disabilities. And I'm asking for increased accessibility, employment opportunities so that there's real integration and increased funding for certain services. So I've been working with the legislature, and that's very important to me, that accessibility. Now, am I working as a legislator on other issues? Yes, absolutely. Voter suppression is a big one. All the brouhaha at the Sandoval County Commission right now. And I'm concerned about our beautiful city in Rio Rancho as well. The administration from our city manager won't allow voting to take place in the Meadowlark Senior Center anymore or the Esterbone Library. And those have been voting sites, and they're ADA compliant, so they meet our standard, and they have separate rooms, so the crowd is not amongst the population. And there's a lot of senior support around that senior center. From seniors can walk to go vote. And now they're sort of stranded, and I'm concerned about why.
You haven't found out why they did that?
I've asked. I was told that the population is vulnerable and they don't want to bring more people into it, but they allowed voting at the senior center next City Hall. It's the same population.
On your palm card here, let me just ask you, it says, invest in New Mexico's infrastructure to protect our water and grow our community. So give us a little more detail on what you want to do with that.
Well, we've all talked about how we have this influx of money coming in, and I think that, there's not one thing that we should do with it, and we don't need to do one thing with it. There's a lot of things we need to do with it. But investing in our infrastructure is very big, and I don't believe that investing in infrastructure means jeopardizing our water. And so infrastructure could be roads, broadband. I know that our Rio Rancho administration just passed the city council the third largest solar farm in the state, and it's going to be in Rio Rancho by Quail Ranch, which is very exciting. So that's an investment in infrastructure that will bring economic growth. That's not a heavy water-based industry.
How about, back to your palm card here, fight for human rights for all New Mexicans. So what are you seeing that you need to fight for specifically there?
Well, I would say the voter suppression is a big thing for me. I have heard individuals who want to get rid of drop boxes despite the 24-hour camera that's pointed at them and all the regulations on making sure that they're secure. And those drop boxes are used a lot by our disabled veteran population and our population with disabilities. They may not be able to come to a voting place on the day of election. They may not even be able to leave. They may be bedridden, and they need somebody to be able to carry their vote to a drop box. And I am concerned that they do not have access to that. So that is one of my issues. Another is obviously our big issue is reproductive rights. I don't believe that anyone has the right to tell my daughter whether or not she becomes a parent or not. She gets to make that decision. And I will do everything I can to help our state trust women and pregnant people to make those decisions.
Is there a limit for you? Or is it good all the way up to the final trimester?
I would say there is not, because I trust women. I trust women. This is something that is between them and their medical provider. And when you're creating laws and regulations, you can't micromanage it where then, I mean, that's probably, it can be problems in our courts as well. You have to be able to let that judge or that person with their own healthcare needs to make that individual choice.
I'm talking with Kathleen M. Cates. I say the M because that's, I assume, the way it's going to be on the ballot.
That's correct.
Yeah, so
it's how I registered.
Yeah, and that's why I keep saying your middle initial. Not that we're that formal. And